Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Campbell. Albert, we've talked about the colleges are winding down. We'll talk about that later on. But in our local segment, if you're still playing right now, you've had quite a year.
That's our trademark on this show. We talk about it all the time. You get into November, and the weather starts to change, and you're still playing. Congratulations. And we knew this team. We thought they would be still playing.
Yeah, that was the one. Remember I said to you about a month ago, I said, who do we have? We said we weren't sure, but we're pretty sure Ursuline.
Yeah, Ursuline's still playing, led by D.C. Farrell, 3 touchdowns. Beat 4-seeded Aurora 29-10. Ray Javy and Devontae Taylor had a major part in it also. And Joey Balog also scored a touchdown. 12-1 on the year. Knock out Aurora. They advanced to play Gilmore and Mahoning Valley Christian. I have a feeling they'll whoop both of them also. That's how good Ursuline is. Also, South Range continues their winning ways. They changed coaches. It meant nothing. That's proof of the great players at South Range. Tristan Toy, 4 touchdowns again. He's been on our show so many times. 3 rushing and 1 passing, George. 13-0. They haven't been challenged, really. Aiden Dominguez, Gabe Nagy, and Dylan Smesko also found the end zone for South
Isn't it funny
Range.
you're getting South Range and Poland?
Yes.
All those games under the bridge, and who's playing? South Range
Neighbors.
and Poland.
Yeah, Neighbors are going to be playing.
They could take a little yellow bus
Three-seeded Poland called it an upset, but I would not call it a 2-seed at Manchester Friday, 24-13. They trailed early, but Vito Kamara's 28-yard run, Angelo Angelelli's touchdown run gave them the lead, and they never looked back. 17-13 at halftime. Advance to play number 1, as we mentioned already, South Range. Poland have to bring their big boy pants to beat South Range.
They will, though. If you gave me one place in the area that you said they're going to compete every night, they're never in awe, good or bad, I would say.
I agree with that,
Way
George.
back to when the basketball used to have to play Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary. They never complained. They just went and played. And that's what, that in Ohio, especially in the football,
Yes.
the bigger classifications, if you are a public, your work is cut out.
Yeah, it's a runaway freight train through the years. The Ohio football is tremendous to begin with, and then they get the recruiting angle of getting the best players in at one place. Woo! Some great teams you have to beat to win a state championship in the state of Ohio. One of the teams that's still playing, Mount Union, first round bye in the NC Division III championship. They'll also host a second round game. I laughed when I saw this, George.
Yeah,
Their 8th
eighth
straight undefeated season. Now, George,
Yeah.
that's comical to me. There's nothing else.
You know what's happening, too? This isn't like Alabama and Georgia and all. These guys have all but 1 or 2 max league games. Like even the
Right.
league, they're over with the pack. Their schedules are full. Like my first thing would be go get somebody.
Yeah, so they can't. I know.
And really, let's be honest, who wants to play them? I told you the story. A buddy of mine was on his way out. It was a Sunday. He called me. He said, Junior's got a scrimmage out in, I said, where are you going? He says, Mount Union. Why? I said, call me in an hour and a half. And he said, oh, my God, it's like 200 guys. I said, that's what they do.
Yeah, one thing, they're going to play the winner of Carnegie Mellon and Center and John Carroll, excuse me. These teams, George, match up Saturday. You're talking about John Carroll's not afraid to play them.
No.
They lost close this year to them again.
No.
And we know Carnegie Mellon won't be scared either.
No.
Yeah, so we're going to see how good Mount Union is. We always give them the double check mark because they seem to go all the way to the semis or the finals.
Yeah, they do. Getting home games helps, too. You know
Every
what
year.
I mean? Yeah, but like you said, Carnegie Mellon will play. And John Carroll, a lot of people don't know this. If you were to look in the front offices in the NFL, they are dotted with John Carroll grads.
I like that statement, George. As
Yes.
John Carroll is noted for that. And also, I want to make it clear that this year, and we learned a lot about Division III from our radio show. There are 40 teams in the playoffs this year instead of 32. That makes a big difference. There's some good.
There's your bye.
There's some good teams that get in there.
The 8 buys.
Yep.
And then you know what they'll do after one day, they'll be down to their amount, like because the 8 will get buys, and then the other, third 24 be 12, then they'll play each other. They'll be right where they
Right,
need to be.
after 1 week.
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
this
uh-huh.
excuse that the big boys made for years till someone waved TV money. Oh, they're missing studies. Would you cut it out, please?
Scholar athlete.
Scholar athlete. That's one thing these guys
They are scholar athletes,
Yeah,
yes.
we have to watch because I hate to paint them with a broad brush, but they asked that one guy for the Bengals the other day if he had ever missed a class. He said, class?
I didn't go.
I didn't go. He said, what are you talking about? How about YSU?
Yeah, YSU fits in that Division One, and you're talking about a team that watch out for. Had Syracuse beat going to basketball first. Had Syracuse beat at Syracuse, lost 104-95 in overtime. E.J. Farmer with 26 points, Nico Gillette with 21. They're going to be dangerous in the horizon, no question
I
about
looked
it.
at them the other night. They were playing Ohio State, and it looked like
That's how good Ohio State is.
Yeah, they didn't look like. In other words, they didn't look. You know how sometimes when those teams step up, it looks like they don't belong body-wise.
Right.
It did not.
It's a good statement.
No, they didn't beat them.
Yeah, the score
They
came
used
out,
to.
but they looked the part.
Hey, let's give the football their due.
Yeah, I want to get
before
back
we
to the
move
football.
on,
Yeah,
because
I almost skipped over.
Well, yeah, any other year it wouldn't have been so bad. This year we had to finish with a win, and we did.
2-point conversion. They went for it.
Yes.
Hit it 39-38. This one's for you, Penguin Joe. This one's for you. He calls our show all the time saying that Brungard can't pass. George, 31 for 36 for 256 yards. I'm saying if you're saying he can't pass, no one could have those stats. Now, you might not be able to throw as good as you
You
want
rushed
him to
for
throw.
80 yards too. Come on.
31 for 36 from passing.
Yeah. Terrific.
So I would I would keep Brungard quarterback. Let's tell you. I work on their defense. I'd be poor to win the death, finding out because when you're all this many 39-38 games, the 34th every week, it's time to shore up that defense. And Coach Phillips does not like the portal. I'm hoping somebody in the administration says, Coach.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's Well, how you say it, George? You have no choice.
No, in the old days, you could, keep your valor or your dignity or whatever.
Right.
All that's out the window. When Kirby Smart's starting guys from Alabama and
Everywhere in the
Mississippi
country.
starting guys from Georgia, you have no choice.
And that's Division One. We're talking about in YSU's league.
Oh.
Every team has
No.
8 new starters, 5 new starters.
No.
Yeah, you aren't going to beat them.
That league is so good. We've discussed it ad nauseum, but it is. When you have, 30 guys
It'll be
in the
interesting.
pros.
Right now, the season's finishing up. I will predict 4 will be in there again. Usually there's sometimes 5.
Yeah.
I think 4 will be in this year in the
And
playoffs
what
again.
hurts is 2 of them will be in the end.
Yes.
And that's only because they match up sooner.
That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
local ties to scholarships. Champion High School had 2 signed. Gabby Grashar went big time to Penn State. And Addie Warzala will find out that Slippery Rock really has good softball, too. She's going to Slippery Rock University. And the 2-time Pitcher of the Year, who we've raved about in this show, Cindy Watts, is taking her talent to Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, you get a great
ACC,
education.
right?
Great education.
I have a feeling that has something to do with it. Without even know who she is.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm thinking,
Remember, we had the Duquesne coach on the radio one time, and we were talking about the portal because they've struggled since. It's been going on 5 years.
Right.
And he said something to the effect that the girls that he recruited, a lot from Eastern Europe, said they want the toughest classes they can find. They're very, very different than their male counterparts
Right.
a lot of times.
many times.
Yeah, these girls want challenge in the classroom. They want tough courses.
And that's why he said he doesn't lose many girls, because they come there,
Yeah.
they're Division I talents,
They expect
but
it.
they want to stay in that classroom and make it
See, that's-
difficult.
I remember in college getting the schedule early so we could get
We did.
easy guys.
We did.
Oh yeah.
What teacher's easy?
That was
What
part of
teacher's
the-
easy?
Oh, everyone knew.
Yes.
After one semester,
You'd ask the
you
question.
knew. I don't want him for English. No.
Yes, that's the truth.
just the way it was. But that's the big time there. You get in the ACC, that's the big
Right.
time, and then the SEC, forget it. It's just the same. All right, let's talk. 2 weeks left. There's something bugging me that I want to talk about that I'm going to start with, and then we'll back it
Okay.
up with our facts. These teams are all going to have conference championships.
Right.
The 4 big boys. Power 4, they
Right.
call it. Was 5. How are they going to treat a loss in that game when the other teams didn't have a chance to lose it.
Right.
Like you got a league like the SEC right now. Alabama.
That's the league specifically.
Alabama's
I know.
in the front, and there are 5 tournament-worthy teams:
Right.
Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, and you have 2 others that were to Texas. And here's my point: let's say you lose to Alabama in that game.
They're gonna drop them out.
Oh,
Isn't
that
that a shame?
doesn't seem fair.
I know it's not fair. That's why it's not fair.
How about it? Like now the league, everybody has a loss. Like SMU and Clemson and those.
They have to win it.
Miami.
They have
you
to
have
win
to
it.
win.
Yeah.
We get that. But this one, in other words, does losing that game drop you behind 3
I
up?
believe it does.
So you think Indiana's in if they don't get humiliated Saturday
Yes,
by?
that's what I think.
Let's say Oregon plays Ohio State, and one of them gets housed.
They're still in
They're still in
that league
in that.
because they only got 1 loss.
Okay.
But the other teams, somebody's going to have 3 losses, and that's why they're going to say,
And
I don't
you're
know.
saying 3, you put the extra on.
That's what they say.
Okay.
I don't, but
Okay.
that's what I think they
But no,
will.
the way I'm looking right now, one good team's not getting in.
Yes.
Unless they take Indiana's spot and the Big Ten's not.
I'm going to say 4 is
Yeah.
getting in. That's what I'll say, 4.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I have it.
4 in both conferences. That's
I
what I'll
have
say.
it 4-4.
Yeah.
The other 2's 10, Notre Dame's 11, and Boise's 12.
That's right now. That's what it
My
is.
question is, like, would Indiana not have enough of what they don't use strength of schedule too? It's convenient. Unless they get bombed at
Yeah,
Columbus.
if they could be 48, 59, 4 nothing, they're not going to be in
That's
there.
what I was asking.
They won't be in there.
Okay, that's what I wondered.
But I don't think they're going to beat like
No, I
that.
don't either. I think they're-
I mean, I'll be shocked if they are. Let's put it that
I
way.
think people are sleeping on
Yeah,
it.
I think they're really
All right, let's
good.
talk about it a little bit. One of them will be left out. We did talk about that. Don't forget, Notre Dame, those first-round games are in home stadiums now. That's one thing. Penn State, looking forward to it. I told Al the other day, I put this up on Twitter, never Alabama, Georgia, name the team. Number 1, they never come north. And number 2, they never come north in December.
Yeah, they're going to hope for good weather.
It's going to be news.
They're going to hope for good weather.
Yeah, if it's like today, it
You
doesn't
understand?
matter.
That's the key, because our weather's changed so much up here.
Yeah.
Before, I would have said they're coming into 2 inches of snow and wind blowing. Our weather's changed so much in Pennsylvania and Ohio that they could come in and be at 54 degrees.
Yeah,
You know, it could happen.
How about the other day? I was reading something. There was a game in the SEC that was 55, and they had the heated seats. Guys, they don't know.
That's funny.
They don't know. I know the first day it got cold here, I was.
You were cold.
Yeah, but I said, wait a minute, it's.
Yeah, just think, if
58.
we're not used to it, think about that, what they're going to be
That's
like.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's right.
That was I was thinking. So we agree there's going to be one real good team not making. Who do you see right now in the SEC?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's
idea.
say we got
I don't.
Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi. One doesn't make it.
I don't think you said, did you say Alabama?
Yeah, they're the number 1 right now.
okay.
If that season ends, they're playing for the title.
Right.
Now, let's say they lose the title game. Do you flip them back? I don't think it's fair to flip a team back for
I don't
playing
think
a
so.
game they didn't
If
have
Alabama's
to
in
play.
the title game and they're going in number 1, I think they're going to be in.
Okay, that's what I
Okay,
wondered.
yeah.
Of those 5, do you have any? I mean, Tennessee beat the.
It'd be Tennessee out.
Tennessee out.
Tennessee is what I'd say out.
Lost to Arkansas, sure did.
That's one I'd say. That don't mean I'm right, but I'll
The
say.
other day, they're
I think Mississippi, Georgia.
10-0 at Georgia.
Mississippi-
Texas. You don't forget Texas.
No, Mississippi-
We kind of forget them because
No, I don't. Mississippi, Georgia, Texas, and Alabama are the 4 I think is going to be in.
Nothing wrong with that for.
That's what I think.
Well, how about Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, and Indiana?
That's the 8.
Boy, the other 12 have sure separated themselves, haven't they?
Seems like it.
In that Big Ten. That's,
Oh yeah, the Big Ten's pretty easy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a question.
Uh-huh.
I wonder what was going on with that because I really thought that for the most part, the fact that this 12 is new, we do agree it'll be 16 in a year after next.
Yep, 2 years from now.
It'll be 16.
Uh-huh.
Do you like 16 better? Do you like
I
buys?
really don't care.
I don't think there should be.
There's
any
no better
buys.
to me, and that's the truth.
I don't think there should be any buys.
There'll be, as we're talking about today, look at the 16 and they'll want the 17th team in. I mean, it's this way.
Oh, they're going to be up. No.
That's the way it works.
No, when they had 4, 5 was upset.
Uh-huh.
When they had 2, 3 was upset. It's the same way.
Yeah.
But I really think with the way college football, it's I don't know if you realize because you can only watch so much. There are games on like the CW on Saturday night. There are games on channels. They have sports talk shows now on True TV. That linebacker for the Cowboys that does a little too much talking for me from Penn State.
Parsons
Yeah, he has his own.
podcast. Yeah,
And
I
I
know.
watch him. All he does is jump around in the chair. He's terrible.
Okay.
All right, NFL. Now we have to talk about it. This was a big week. Pittsburgh, we're having our radio show, and people call them, what do you think? We say, well, we know. What do we know from history? It's going to be close.
Seems like it
the
all the
line's
time.
going to be low. And this idea, high scoring, not when they play.
Doesn't happen that way, does it? They both move the ball enough to be high scoring, but they
Yeah.
all got stopped down at the end. That's red zone defense is the key for everything. That's the way it is.
You say that all the time. Let them push you to the 10.
Yeah, in
Give them
today's
3.
world, 1860 is really low
Now, let's
scoring.
talk about that too, because in that 16 was 2 missed field goals by the greatest kicker
what I'm
in
saying.
the history of the game,
Yeah.
and 3 turnovers. Now I
No.
got to ask you this too. We've discussed this for years, you and I. That 2-point attempt. Hey, John Harbaugh, I know you know more than we do, and my God, what was that?
Yeah, you had all year to
What
come
was it
you have to come up with something better than that. Let's put it that way. And you got to give him a chance to run and throw and find somebody in the end zone. I don't know what
Like
they
he
was
was
looking at.
running sideways, and there were like 8 guys. There was nowhere to
There was
run
no
or
go.
throw.
Nowhere to go.
Oh my gosh. I've seen him lose 2-3 games now. In the past, like it was late in the season and a loss didn't hurt them. So he didn't want to play overtime, so to speak. This one he had no choice.
Right, no
He was
choice.
down.
Right, no choice.
All right, let's talk about Buffalo. That's your guy.
Now, I want to go back to that. You made something really important in this game. Baltimore gave the game away.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? The greatest kicker ever in football is now not anymore.
Yeah,
He missed 2 field goals.
Inside 40, right?
Missed 2 field goals. They were long, but still make
Oh,
them
they
long.
were.
Yeah, they were long.
Okay.
I don't care. Today's
doesn't
world.
miss them.
In today's world, everybody
Yeah,
kicks
50
those.
and in.
Everybody
don't
kicks
miss.
them.
No, he doesn't miss.
And they turned the ball over
3 times.
down. One was right down there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's interesting where Baltimore goes from this game. If they put the film on, they'll be one to kill themselves. And Pittsburgh has to score touchdowns. They will
like
not
Al
be
said,
able
I'm
to do
glad
it.
they won, but.
Yeah, they have to score touchdowns. They will not be able to beat the best teams.
And who would you consider? Buffalo, Kansas City?
There's a certain bunch,
How
you
about
know.
Houston?
Oh, yes.
You had them in there too?
Oh, yes.
Get the receiver back.
Definitely. Oh, he's backing out, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So Buffalo, let's talk about Buffalo handling KC, because I don't think you can play better than Josh Allen. I don't
He's a
know
great
what
player.
you do. What would you do differently that he didn't do in that game?
Just not, he does it all the time.
He does the hero ball interception.
And there was a couple that Kansas City could have picked off. But other than that, he's just a great player.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's moved up to the top quarterback in the league now.
yeah. With
I think
Jackson
so.
taking on water 4 out of
And Jackson's
5.
the only guy is the guy with him.
Yeah.
He's not the same. No, I
Mahomes
don't.
having a terrible
no, I don't.
year.
No, I don't put him in I don't put him with those two.
Yeah, but
I mean, he's way better in his career.
Yeah.
I'm talking about right
Oh,
at this moment.
right this week. It's
No,
out.
it's not. Mahomes not as good as those two.
He has more interceptions than touchdowns.
I know.
No one says it. What is it? Is he?
Well, we say it.
Is he not?
I mean, I didn't say he's not great. I'm not. I'd be stupid when we say
his career.
I think he's the second greatest ever.
You're saying
But
right now.
right this minute.
He's not.
He's
doing
not
it.
playing the best of anybody.
No. No, I said the
not.
same. I said the other day, but you won't read it anywhere.
No, they won't talk about it.
I said on Twitter, I
You don't hear Romo. You don't put the Romo saying, they're down 9 with 2 minutes left. I want to put it by him. I think when he's on the field, and I'm thinking, you haven't watched the whole year then.
No,
you have not watched him in
the whole
action.
year. They really could have 4 or 5 losses.
Sure, should have,
The
not could
Bengals
have.
for sure.
Yeah, should have.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
His stats are awful, but as we always say, for some
They're really
reason,
good defensively, though.
Oh, no,
they are
they're
really good. That's a good Allen is.
I saw something the other day, though. The guy they gave all the money to doesn't have a sack yet.
Really?
One of those great defenders. I couldn't believe it because I don't look at stats.
I don't know who it would be. I don't know who it would be.
One of their big lines.
Okay.
Chargers handled Cincinnati. I'm going to say it now. This idea. Next week. Guess what? They're not making it. So forget about next week. What, like 2-6?
I don't know. They're 4-7.
Oh, they're not making
How about? I think they are.
they're
How
not.
about that, George?
Yeah.
George and I are not always
They're not
thing.
making it.
I think they're going to go on a winning streak.
I keep waiting.
No, I believe that. I believe they're going to. I don't know if it's going to happen, but
Yeah.
I believe they have the talent to do so.
I'm not saying they don't have the talent.
I think they can
But
do
better
it.
start.
I think they can do it.
Incredible. Just incredible.
You know why? I'll tell you how much I think so.
Why?
I bet him last night.
Oh, see,
How
this
about-
guy, he's got more money. See, when you're rich
No, I'm
like
thinking,
him,
when
you
their
can
odds
do
came
that.
up on the board,
I
and I'm
got
thinking,
you.
wait a minute, this team is they're comparing with the Bears.
No, I saw. What
No.
did I see the other? Oh, I saw it. I thought about you. The Cavaliers 40-1. They're not worth $20.
Yeah, they are.
To win 1,000.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I know they are.
They are.
Browns. I'm not going to.
Now there's a team that's not going anywhere.
I'm not going to pick on them. I mean, I don't. That game Thursday night, don't make it out. It's a rivalry. They don't like each other. All this nonsense. I know who I think will win.
That's interesting that you don't think they can beat them.
No, normally I would. This isn't a normal
But they'll be
year.
playing their craziness in that
The
game.
trouble with Winston is he'll throw for 350.
He can throw it about the other team. He can throw it about the other team.
That's what he does. I'm starting to believe that I was half in on this guy, half not sure. I think Levis. There's something. It's not. Is it his arm? No. Is it his big, strong body?
Well, he has the ability.
But something
He has the
Albert
ability.
is missing.
I was listening to the Minnesota announcer yesterday. He said he's been doing it 30 years, he said. He said you could bring in John Unitas. That's what he said. Honestly, on Sirius Radio.
They're so bad.
On the line. He said,
Okay.
he said, I've never seen a team have to keep a receiver
And
and a running back in.
Okay.
He said he's throwing the two receivers out for every time.
well, yeah.
So I want to make that clear that I know
No.
he's not playing good.
No.
But his line is bad.
But look, Danny Dimes got benched.
Same thing.
They say the same
Watch
thing.
same thing.
Yeah.
You have no
He's gonna
chance.
go to a new team.
I hope somebody takes a chance on him, and it has to be a decent team.
Yeah.
It can't be Jacksonville,
No.
because they'd have no chance either.
No, how's that guy working today? I want to know why he's going to work today. Do you have any idea?
Peterson,
Yeah,
is he the first guy fired now? You think?
50-3, I would think.
Okay,
Hey, the Jets thing's comical. I don't like Aaron Rodgers, so I'm sure.
but it's easy not to like.
Yeah, nothing's his fault. Somehow he'll be drinking that ayahuasca or whatever it is in a dark room, and it'll be everybody else's fault. And that McAfee just brings him in there and lets.
But I will say this again: I'm on George's other side today. He went down the field and gave him the lead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, the defense hasn't held
did
their
not
own.
hold him. If they hold him, they win the game.
No.
They went right down, and this is Richardson going right down the field,
Yeah.
throwing the ball. If he went down the field running it,
Yeah.
he went down the
Did
field
you
throwing
see
the
him
ball.
bury that one
Oh my
defender
gosh,
at the goal
it's a
line?
monster.
Oh my God! I thought to myself, I had the Colts. I said, I hope he runs this ball. Boom! I said, thank you, buddy. I didn't want you passing it because I know what can happen when you pass the ball.
But he threw good yesterday, though.
Oh yeah,
He threw good yesterday.
Hey, the West is up for grabs. I'm afraid we didn't grab the right one.
We didn't.
What has happened?
We didn't.
They quit on Shannon?
No, they haven't quit, but
Injuries?
the injuries got them, and now the defense is
Just
when Bosa's not out there.
Yeah. Well, that's every.
And that's what happens. He's always on the
Hey, let
sideline.
me see him taking his tape
He's always
off.
on the sideline.
Let me see him taking his tape off once before the game's over again. I'm going to need new TV.
Yeah, it's to say about, like, they compare Bosa, Watt, and some
No,
other
no, no,
guys.
no, no.
Well, Watt plays.
No, Watt
Do you understand?
plays.
When Bosa plays, he plays just as good.
Oh,
But he
no.
doesn't play.
No.
Like, you take Watt out the field for Pittsburgh. That's what
No.
happened. Well, that's what Bosa keeps doing to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Takes his
Yep.
tape off and
I
is sitting
saw
on
him
the
taking it
sideline.
off. Hey, Shanahan, he's going to have to win. If he's the resident
They love
genius,
him, don't they?
He's going to win one.
Boy,
He's
they
got-
love him.
You know he had schemes?
They love him.
Hottest team's easy, Detroit.
Amazing how they're
But he
playing.
put 50 piece up yesterday.
And he won at 50.
He doesn't,
No, he won at 50.
He doesn't care about the handshake or like,
He won at 50.
did you get enough? Yeah, I'll get more.
He does.
He doesn't care one way or the other. I have to say, I was wrong about one guy, Bo Nix. Looked
Yeah,
like-
amazing how good he's playing.
man.
I'm on the same side.
It's like he's being, how to say this, because I got to give the coach credit. He's being managed
Perfectly.
in such a way.
Perfect. I'll give the coach credit. I'll
You have
give him credit.
to.
Yeah, I'll give him credit.
My
They
God, they look
move
good.
out of the pocket. They have give him places to run and pass. Denver's dangerous, by the way. Everybody's looking past them.
No, they're the last
They're
playoff.
pretty good.
Did you know they're the last playoff team
I'm glad
right
to hear
now?
that because I think
Yeah.
I like their team.
Okay, let's talk about Jameis Winston. I'm going to say it before the game.
You think
So,
interceptions are coming? Huh?
3. I have over under 3 for Thursday night. I do not trust him. He's just not. He's. Let me see if I can say this right. His opinion of his ability and his ability don't
Doesn't match,
concur.
huh?
No, they do not match. All right, NCAA hoops. We have to talk about this because this is big. I put the TV on last week. Okay, you got Kansas. You got Michigan State. You got Kentucky. You got Duke. It's not like football. They're not afraid of a loss because it
means nothing. That's why.
absolutely
Don't worry,
nothing.
they'd be afraid if it meant something.
So they take these guys. They're going to play 35-40, and they just go in and they just schedule anybody and everybody, and it's enjoyable if you're a fan because I heard Krzyzewski say this once, and I have to agree with him on this one. College basketball is so screwed up, no one knows when it starts.
They finally had a date this year. I don't know what the date
Yeah,
was.
it was last Monday.
Some
Yeah.
date they had. Finally, they must listen to George.
Yeah.
Christmas said for years.
Yeah.
They finally picked a date
You
out.
need a date.
Yeah.
Yes, nobody's afraid to lose. The portal's changed college hoops.
College everything.
But with football, you still need number. Basketball, give me the right three.
Yeah.
Get me a stud. Get me a point guard and a swing.
Yep.
I'll come in. How about Kansas? No, here's how you know.
Pay that money.
Here's how you know how important the portal is. Kansas added 5 guys. Now there's the reigning, finalist, and they're
Always.
adding 5. What's that tell you?
Yep, you just said it. Everybody's looking to add 3 at least. And if you don't have a bench, you're going to get 2 more, so that's 5.
Yeah. Now let's talk a bit about Gino. We have to give Gino. Gino passed the Stanford coach the other night. I did a little quick math. 30 wins a year. Now I know he had, for 15 of them, he had the top 5 draft picks. He doesn't.
He still
He's
has
got
the best player.
No, Bucher's the best player. He definitely has the best player.
Yeah, Gino's not crying over his talent. Let's put it that
No,
way.
but he doesn't have the talent. Remember he had the first 5
And that's when he won
WNBA
all his
picks?
championships. Not winning championships anymore.
No, he had the first 5 WNBA picks. There's a
Yeah.
new sheriff down there in
South Carolina, yeah, she's getting
Let's
the players.
talk NBA. There's only one story, and one story
Certainly,
only.
it's local
and
team.
We're living it.
Yeah.
The Cavs are the story.
Boy, they scoring points.
Oh, well,
Oh,
I
my
told you the other
gosh.
night. I was talking to my buddy on the phone. I said, the Cavs have 57, and there's only 3 minutes into the second quarter.
Amazing.
That's,
They're scoring points crazily, shooting threes crazily. Billy Dungy, the Hickory coach, texted me and said, "Coach, as soon as the season's done,
We want 'em on."
I said, "You're coming on."
yeah, he did.
He's a
such
big
good-
Cavs fan
he had
and a
reason.
big NBA fan.
Hey,
he knows
they play
stuff.
Boston next. You think Boston will try to give them the first?
Oh, yeah, they're
out?
gonna try to.
Boston will be all geeked up
Yep,
too.
they're gonna try
The
to.
story keeps coming back though. The big guy in Philly. When Shaq's talking about you and he's not covering your game, that tells you how bad. I mean, I'm
really
not
easy.
playing back to back. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. At some point, when you're making $61 million per, people expect a little work out of you.
Yeah, our producer's Greg, and he comes in on Monday. He's a little tired on Monday night, George. Guess what he does? He comes in on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, what do we do? Yeah,
That's what.
yeah,
do you
my dad.
understand
Yeah,
how
exactly.
embarrassing this is?
Yeah.
George, it's 82 games.
Yeah.
It's not like
It's not 160.
no, it's not 190 games.
No.
It's 82 times he has to play.
No,
He could do this. Why wouldn't he do this? You know the reason. You gave it to me. Come into the coach and say, Coach,
Yeah.
I'll give you 25 tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not,
I'll
said,
give you the first.
Don't worry about their stats.
No,
you
I'll
said.
give you the first 8. I'll give you 4 before half. I'll give you 5 in the third and 8 in the fourth.
Yeah.
No, that's what they won't do. See, they don't want to mess their stats up.
I know you said that
It
forever.
started all this back in the day. Nobody will talk about it, but it's true. And LeBron, 3 straight triple doubles. My God, he's 40. Credit is due, LeBron. I'll give you your credit.
Good old LeBron.
I mean, that's amazing. Celebrating. We got to do this before we go because it drives us both being old coaches. I saw one the other night, 31-0. Now you'd think you'd want to sneak off the field. Got made a play and he's jumping
There
up.
were no sneaking.
I'm like, hey, buddy, you're down 31. You're not ahead. They don't care.
They practice those more than they do practice real football.
Okay, last thing, we got to go in this one. Kennesaw State. The coach founded the program, had them a power in FCS. They moved to D1. It takes time. Don't they fire him 2 weeks ago? And guess what happened last week? All those guys left too, more than 20.
Good for them.
Good for them. Thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. See you next week.